There are a ton of competitive FPS games out right now, but if you're trying to get into one of them, there's one big question. Which one's actually the best? So I decided to play 8 of the best games and rank them from number 8 being the worst all the way to number 1 being the best. And I am ranking them based on 4 things. How much does the game cost? How hard is it to learn? How much do you actually have to play before you can unlock rank? And most importantly, is the game actually fun? And by the end of the video, we'll find out which FPS game is the best.
What? Are you fucking kidding us?
So let's start with the game that finished dead last. Number 8, Crossfire. And this one was rough. The good thing is that Crossfire is completely free, so I was able to download it and immediately jump in. Or at least I thought I was going to jump in, because I couldn't find a single lobby. Okay! 6 minutes in? Clearly there's no gameplay going on. This game felt completely dead, and I kept randomly having black screens. Oh, we found a game already! Maybe we're in the wrong game mode. Or did my game crash? I'm not playing this shit, bro. There's no way I'm getting another fucking black screen, am I? But I still wanted to see what it would take to eventually play rank. Apparently you have to reach 2nd Lieutenant. Maybe Crossfire has a community somewhere, but based on my experience, there's no way I could put this game above anything else on the list. So Crossfire easily takes the number 8 spot. Number 7. Apex Legends. Apex is completely free, which already gives it a pretty big advantage. But getting into rank, you first have to complete the Road to Rank challenges. And Apex is also not exactly an easy game for new players. You need good aim, you need to understand the guns, you need movement, you need to understand your Legends abilities. And because it's a battle royale, you also need to understand positioning, rotations, looting, and when to actually take fights. There's a lot going on, and personally, I wasn't having that much fun. Now I will admit that this could be one of those games where I just need to play more, because I haven't played since the game first came out. But the better you get at Apex, the more fun I can see this game becoming. So Apex Legends comes in at number 7. Number 6. Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is also free, which is obviously a huge positive. But if you're a brand new player and your goal is to play rank, you've got some work to do. You need 50 wins in quick play before you can unlock competitive. Not 50 games, 50 wins. Depending on how good you are, that's going to take a decent amount of time. As for the actual game, I had some fun with it. And there's a ton of different characters because you're constantly dealing with different abilities, different compositions and playstyles. But I feel like Overwatch is one of those games that's way more fun when you're playing with a group. Overall, I didn't hate Overwatch 2, but I also wasn't dying to keep playing it. That's why I'm putting it at number 6. Number 5, VALORANT. Now we're getting to the games I enjoyed a little bit more. VALORANT is completely free. If you want to play competitive, you have to reach level 20. So you're definitely going to have to put in some time into the game before you can even touch rank. And honestly, that's a good thing, because VALORANT is hard. You need to have precise aiming. You can't just run around like you're playing Call of Duty. You need to learn recoil, crosshair placement, movement, maps, angles, and then on top of all of that, every agent has abilities you need to understand. So not only do you have to learn how to shoot, you also have to learn what feels like 5,000 things flying across your screen. Smokes, flashes, walls, grenades, ultimates, and you get one tapped in the head. I can definitely see why VALORANT is so competitive and why people put thousands of hours into this game. But for a brand new player, there's a pretty big learning curve. That's why VALORANT comes in number 5. Number 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. And immediately we have one major difference. This game costs around $70. Every game we talked about
So far has been free.
So spending $70 to get started is a pretty big negative. And if you want to play ranked, you need 50 multiplayer wins. But here's the thing, I had a lot of fun. When I first started playing, the matches actually weren't insanely sweaty. I could run around, get some kills, try different guns, and it was mostly nostalgia from not playing COD in a long time. It's fast, it's easy to understand, and compared to games like VALORANT or Apex, you can pick up Call of Duty and understand what's happening pretty quickly. The biggest thing holding back Black Ops 7 for me was the price, because when so many FPS games are completely free, $70 is a lot to ask. Still, I had enough fun to put Black Ops 7 at number 4. Number 3, Counter-Strike 2. Now we're in the top 3. At number 3, we have one of the most iconic competitive FPS games ever made. CS2 is completely free, and from what I understand, you need to play around 5 normal matches before you can start playing rank. And if we're comparing to the other games, that's not bad at all. But actually getting good at the game takes thousands of hours. You need good aim, crosshair placement, recoil control, map knowledge, grenades, economy, positioning, and if you make one mistake, you're probably dead. But even though I was getting destroyed sometimes, I was actually having fun. There's something extremely satisfying about getting a clean kill in Counter-Strike. No crazy abilities, no ultimates, no giant shield appearing in front of somebody. It's just you, your gun, and your aim. It's simple, but insanely competitive. And because it's free and easy to start playing, Counter-Strike 2 earns my number 3 spot. At number 2, we have the game that surprised me the most, the Finals. The Finals is completely free, but if your main goal is rank, you better get comfortable. You need to play around 45 games of unranked before you can unlock it. But unlike some other games, I was actually having fun playing the Finals. And one of my favorite things was the cloaking device. Being able to go invisible and sneak around people is so much fun. The other thing I really like was the destruction. Buildings get absolutely destroyed during matches. Walls disappear, floors collapse, entire fights completely change because somebody blew up half of the building. And that reminded me of another game on the list. I do think the guns in the Finals could be a little bit better. That was probably one of my biggest complaints, but the destruction, movement, abilities, and overall chaos made the game really fun. I went into this not knowing exactly where the Finals would end up, and somehow it almost won. But there's one game I enjoy more, so the Finals takes the number 2 spot. And finally, after playing every game on the list, my number 1 competitive FPS is Rainbow Six Siege. Now, Siege isn't perfect. First of all, it's one of the only other games on the list you have to pay for. It's $20 or less depending on when and where you buy it. But the biggest problem is actually unlocking rank, because you need to reach level 50, and that takes a lot of grinding. And you also need at least 10 attackers and 10 defenders. And then there's the learning curve. Siege is hard. There's a ton of operators. Every operator has different abilities. Then you have to learn the maps. Where are the stairs? Which walls can I destroy? Where are the people going to peek from? Where are the cameras? Why did I get shot through a wall by somebody I never even saw? But that's also what made Siege fun for me. The destruction is incredible. Instead of every match playing exactly the same, you can literally change the map. Blow open a wall, destroy a floor, create a new angle, break through a barricade. The environment becomes part of the strategy. And once you start learning the maps and understanding what the operators can do, the game gets even better. Yes, Siege has probably one of the biggest learning curves on this entire list. And yes, unlocking rank takes a long time. And yes, you're probably going to get destroyed when you first start playing. And more than likely not, you will not know which way to go to reach the objective.
What the fuck are you doing? I don't know where the fucking sight is, bro!
But out of every game I played in this video, this was one I wanted to keep playing. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most. So my number 1 competitive FPS is Rainbow Six Siege.